Yeah, boy, we raving up in this bitch. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Alpha Bro Show. Yeah, I've got to find some different music. No shit. But like to find stuff that's not copyrighted, it can be tough. It is tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. So, yeah, that's the best I could do for right now. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The stuff that my producer was making for me, I was getting flagged on YouTube, and he says, "Yeah, that happens sometimes." Blah blah blah. So I don't know. So I guess I have to say I don't own this music, which I don't own hardly any music that's created like that. So I definitely don't own any dubstep. Sorry, Deadpool. Don't like dubstep. All right. So we're starting out the show with the featured bourbon. I got a good one. And if not for Paul at the Liquor Barn on Popper Level Road beside Jefferson Mall, I would have never tried it because it is expensive. I would have never paid for this any other way. But it is Nulu bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey. It is 116 proof. This is batch LB1. And the last show I was drinking Brothers Bond, and I told you that it was distilled by a company called MGP. Now, it doesn't say that on the back of Brothers Bond bourbon, but they are distilled and distributed by MGP. This bourbon is too. Okay. This is a very small batch, 4 to 6 year MGP bourbon. Was blended to give consistent flavors to each batch. Our goal is to offer a non-chilled filtered bourbon that gives unique tasting notes and a balanced finish. Lawrenceburg, Indiana, bottled and distilled on Baxter Avenue in Louisville, Kentucky. So, Nulu, which is New Louisville, okay, and that's what I thought this was when I seen it. There's a lot of new bourbon places popping up all over the place, so you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get shit. You don't know if you're going to get something great. And like I said, Paul, there we go. Paul really talked me into this, said how good it was, and he's absolutely right. It's a sweet bourbon. It's got a sweet flavor to it. 116, you would think it's going to be a little hot. The heat has a ton of flavor. It's like I say about jalapenos and habaneros, like a ghost pepper. A ghost pepper, if you've ever had a ghost pepper has almost no flavor because your taste buds are fucking disintegrated the minute it hits your fucking mouth. Now, a good ripe jalapeno, a good habanero, those have really a Yeah, a habanero. Those have really, really great flavor along with some heat. Like Hatch green chilies, just a little bit of heat, but a ton of flavor. So that's the reason that I like peppers with like great flavor. The heat has flavor in it. That's the way a good bourbon should be. If you're getting just, you'll see people take a drink of bourbon and go, oh my God. Well, that's not what you want. Okay. So that has a lot of great heat. That is a fantastic jalapeno pepper is what that bourbon is. But it's it's got a very sweet, caramely, Paul described it as a cotton candy flavor. I don't get that. But I think it's fantastic. That is the featured bourbon for this show. This show is the top 10 alpha movies of all time. Now, this is what I'm going to caveat this top 10 list with. It is the action genre. Okay? It's not, so there's not going to be any war movies in this list. There's not going to be any comic book movies in this list. This is like an action film list. Okay? And some of these movies, it's funny in doing this list, I really dug deep. And what I mean by deep is I went back, way back. Okay? And some of these movies mean something to me. And if a movie makes your list, it doesn't have to win a fucking Oscar. It needs to have made your list for a reason. And that reason could just be like, hey man, that movie touched me. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies of all time. I went into that movie not wanting to see it. I was drugged to see it. I thought it was going to be some tearjerker, just bullshit. Ended up being to this day, one of my favorite movies of all time. The movie is, it's a perfect 10 for me. It has everything. His action, romance, drama, humor, heartstrings, plot twists. Oh my God, he did this. Oh my God, he said that. I mean, pop culture reference. I mean, it runs the gamut of everything. The only thing it doesn't have in it is like Kung Fu. Kung Fu, samurais, and ninjas. Like, if it had that, it would be the ultimate movie of all time. All right. So, this list, like I said, you'll bench 500 pounds. Your dick will be fucking 6 inches bigger. You'll shoot the fucking wings off a goddamn flea from 1,000 yards. Like, that's how good these fucking movies are. That's how manly these movies will make you fucking feel after you watch them. And if you don't, you need to go get your test checked. Now, you don't have to get your testosterone checked. You watch these movies, your shit's going to be fucking through the roof. If you don't like these movies, you ain't a dude. You just ain't a guy. You should identify differently. Okay? Because you're bringing us all down if you don't like these movies. This is a good motherfucking list. Like, I usually don't say that, like, because you may have a reason you don't like. Now, you're not going to agree with all my picks. And if you do, fucking all right. And if you don't, fucking okay too. Everybody's got different tastes. But pound for pound, this is a pretty goddamn good list. Okay? For the top 10 most alpha movies of all time. Let's fucking just get down to it. All right. I'm going to go way back. Okay? This movie actually began the trend of highly choreographed gunfights. Okay, now there may have been movies before this was made that had really good gunfights. Okay, everybody upped their game after this director started making movies. This one I feel like is one of his best, if not his masterpiece when it comes to stylized gun violence. His name's John Woo. You can already probably figure out the movie. The movie is called Hard Boiled from 1992. 91? 92. 1992. Okay. I remember back when you could rent movies. I was working third shift at UPS. A buddy of mine said, hey man, you should check this movie out. It's badass. It's dubbed. It's subtitled. It's dubbed. No, was it dubbed or subtitled? I believe it was subtitled. It wasn't even dubbed yet. It was subtitled. And I was like, cool. You know, like I'm good with that. I don't care. Came home, couldn't sleep. It's like, man, I'm gonna put this movie in. Stayed up. I could not. I had to watch it again later that day. This movie was. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like this before. Okay, it's fucking awesome. The movie is Hard Boiled with Chow Yun-fat, who plays an undercover cop taking down it wasn't the Yakuza, but it was like this Japanese mob, this Chinese mob. Okay, he played Tequila, who was this ultra cool. You've probably seen The Gift on the thumbs up, where this dude rolls back like coming out of a cubicle in a chair, and he goes, and he's eating, and he goes, that is Chow Yun-fat as Tequila in the movie Hard Boiled. So, but this was one of the first movies that really exaggerated this highly stylized gun violence, these gunfighting scenes. And there's a scene where he's protecting a baby. And actually, I didn't know that one of the movie posters was of this. Which I thought was pretty cool because I had forgotten about that scene, which is a very crazy classic scene in this movie, where he's protecting a baby while fucking blasting everybody. Okay. And there's also one where he gets like doused in cocaine and he's solid white. I mean, like, the movie is highly entertaining, highly action packed. You won't even care. You probably get it dubbed now, but like even it's subtitled, you didn't care because you're not reading a whole lot of it because it's action after action after action. But some of the famous quotes from the movie, which this was fun in researching this for the show too. Give a guy a gun, he thinks he's Superman. Give him two, and he thinks he's a god. So John Woo, that was his trademark, was dual pistols, akimbo. If you're a Call of Duty fan, it's akimbo. Okay, like he's got two pistols and he's just fucking going to work. Very, very, very cool movie. It's again highly entertaining. If you've seen an undercover cop movie taking down the mob, it's not going to break any barriers of genre as far as that goes. But the movie is fucking fantastic. If you have not seen Hard Boiled by John Woo, please do that. John Woo has other movies as well, other Japanese movies that are fantastic as well. The Hitman is another great movie about a hitman. Imagine that. But it's fantastic. Again, super stylized violence. You'll love it. All right. That's number 10. Okay. So number 2, I bet you haven't heard of it. And if you haven't, ooh, man, 116. If you haven't, you need to check it out. This movie is fucking fantastic. And I am a huge, huge fan of Groundhog Day. Okay? I love Groundhog Day. I watch it every year around Christmas time. It's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's just fucking fantastic. This is Groundhog Day on cocaine, steroids, DMT, sitting on a pile of fucking C4. That's how fucking good this movie is. That's how explosive this movie is. If you're I'm a huge Frank Grillo fan from the TV show Kingdom, which was one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I actually need to put that on my list for the next show. Can't believe it wasn't on there. You're going to love the next show too. Anyway, so Frank Grillo, if you're not familiar with Grillo's work, he's been in a bunch of movies. I bet when you see him, you go, oh, I know that guy. He was Crossbones or Rumlow in the Captain America movies and in the Avengers movies. He was Crossbones after Cap let a helicarrier fall on him. Come on, Cap, man, you can't fucking save everybody. But it's Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson. Oh, I've got fucking pictures here. See, you guys got me all all worked up. Look, see, we got a little bit of production value on this show. Who says we don't? Hard boiled. So I'm gonna show you hard boiled real quick. This is Chow Yun Fat sliding down a banister as he's dual wielding. Okay, see, now the graphics make sense. You know, a motherfucker was talking about dual wielding, you didn't know what it fucking meant. Now you got fucking images. I need pictures too. Big comic book fan. So that's hard boiled. Please check that out. All right, the next one is one I told you probably haven't seen before. Is called Boss Level. Okay, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, Frank Grillo. Grillo plays a special forces guy that is trapped in a time loop of the day that he's murdered. So he has to go through and figure out the mystery behind his murder and why he was murdered. Okay, now this movie, from the very first, it's got one of the best opening scenes of any action movie. Yep, I fucking said it. The cinematography is fucking off the chain. It's awesome. It's rated R. It's hard R. Lots of violence, a lot of gore. It ain't bullets going somewhere and you don't get to see where they hit. You see where the fucking bullets hit. And it starts the morning that he is murdered. So every time he's killed, he wakes up and has to do it all again. And it's so good. And you think to yourself, man, if I was waking up, that's what he does. So it's I don't want to say a realistic fucking time loop movie, but it's pretty realistic. Like, you're a human being, right? And you would feel certain things when you realize that you're just fucking stuck in this loop and you're never getting out of it. Well, he does that. And plus, there's another element of there's a family element involved that I really didn't think would play a bigger part as it did, but it does. And it's fantastic. It's great. This movie, I can't say enough about this movie. I fucking recommend this movie to everybody. If you like action movies, you like a good story, you like to be entertained, this is the movie. Like, it's very, 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 very good. I was going to watch it again to get some quotes out of it because I really wanted to, because movie quotes are the thing, right? Like, people get drunk, you play beer bitch and whatever the jack is. Oh, it's a movie quote. You got to come up with a movie quote. So people know movie quotes, especially from their favorite movies. I really can't remember anything from this. I've only seen it once or twice, but I want to see it again so I can, because it was highly entertaining. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't go on about it like I am. And if it was that entertaining, then it definitely had some scenes and some movie quotes that I should remember. So I'm definitely going to go back and watch it to get those movie quotes because, again, fucking fantastic movie. Boss Level, guys. Check that shit out. You're going to fucking love it. All right, the next movie is pretty copy and paste, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, this movie's on a lot of people's lists, and I'll tell you why I could not leave it off mine. Gladiator. I mean, what the fuck can I say about Gladiator other than it won an Academy Award for Best Picture? Those typically ain't the movies that we like, though, right? We usually don't like those movies. I fucking love this movie. It was one of, I don't know why it hit me the way it did. Maybe because, you had this Roman general that is captured. He's thrown into slavery. His children, his child's dead. His wife is dead. He's sacrificed everything for his emperor. And now he's dead. He's out in the fucking wind. And he's just got nothing but his fucking balls to fucking get back up and fight, if nothing else, for fucking revenge. And it's just the way Ridley Scott does. I mean, does anybody really do Sword and Sandals better? I don't think they do. It's fantastic. I absolutely fucking love it. What's odd is there's a lot. I think this movie gets a lot of hate, and I think it gets a lot of hate because it is a Academy Award winning movie. And you know what? I really don't even give a fuck about that. Like, I think it's cool that it won. Like, awards are great, right? Someone got recognized for making a fucking good movie, even when they usually give awards to bullshit movies. And I think that's what people usually think. Like, oh, that won an award, so fuck that movie. It sucks. It totally not true here. I mean, like, this movie's fucking fantastic. I absolutely love it. You know, he personifies like he exudes like what a general would be. And then like even when he's in the gladiator arena, his leadership abilities come out. Like he's coordinating the gladiators. You know, where normally they're like, man, fuck you. And they're like, man, dude, fucking Maximus, dude. We fucking listening to Maximus. You know, so and the fight scenes were fucking epic. I mean, it was just done so fucking well. And like you leave that theater like, fuck yeah, you know, like I want to see the fucking Coliseum. You know, I want to put my hand in the sand. You know how he used to put it, he would put his hand in the sand and break. Oh, dude, I fucking love that, man. Like I get hyped just thinking about this movie. Watch it every time it's on TV. Don't give a fuck. Gladiator, one of the most fucking alpha bro dudes there is on cinema is Maxus Aurelius. All right, so we're gonna get to the next one. Okay, the next one's pretty copy and paste too, but it's next on the list, so we're gonna do it. All right, the next one is, yep, you got it, fucking Arnold in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, as classic as Terminator was, and Terminator almost made this list over this one, is because it started it, right? Like, very low budget. They basically gave James Cameron some peanuts and said, hey, man, make your little fucking robot movie. We don't care. Well, lo and behold, cult classic turned in fucking mega bucks. All right? Just the scene alone where he walks up and fucking kills Bill Paxton as a punk rocker is, I mean, that makes everybody's top 10, right? Well, the reason T2 made it over Terminator is because of one scene, and that is basically depicted right here in this picture. That's the reason I chose this picture instead of the movie poster, of him riding a fucking Harley, leathered out, with a fucking lever action shotgun. I mean, shut the fuck up. And the fucking twirling it. I mean, getting chased by a semi on the express. I mean, that is a epic cinematic scene of any action movie. We'd really never seen anything like that with a fucking motorcycle and a shotgun before. I mean, so, man, fucking James Cameron. I mean, like, say what you want about James Cameron. I mean, the dude made Titanic. I mean, everybody fucks up, right? But, dude, when it comes to dude movies, James Cameron fucking gets it, man. And nothing personifies badassery like the fucking Terminator does. So, Terminator 2, going to be in everybody's fucking movie, right? Or everybody's top 10 action movies, but it's in mine too. So, like, famous quote. I mean, dude, you can write a fucking book. I mean, like, there's 4 pages on IMDb of famous quotes, but, you know, the Hasta La Vista Baby. Chill out, dickwad has got to be my favorite one, where, you know, him and Edward Furlong or young John Connor, they're, you know, he's working out like how humans talk, and he's trying to get smarter, and, you know, he tells the guy, chill out, dickwad. You know what I mean? He says it all fucked up. Classic Arnold. The role was made for him. I mean, like, literally, I think it was made for him. So, awesome fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, you're probably not even watching this fucking show because you wouldn't watch something called Alpha Bro Show. Anyway, so, fantastic. Terminator 2, 1991, one of the best movies there fucking is. So in the comments, Jason says, Ridley Scott has the best cinematography out there. I agree. I agree. Like, it's hard to argue that when you see movies like Gladiator, and even, there's another movie of his on here. I think it's him. Let me see. No, it's not. I thought it was. It's not his. I'm gonna double check that just really quick. But yeah, so he is. I mean, for whatever reason, he's got this sword and sandals genre like down pat, and no, it's Wolfgang Peterson that did Troy. Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, but so yeah, he's got some great cinematography. I mean, Ridley Scott. I mean, Aliens. I mean, come on. I mean, it just fucking list goes on and on. No, James Cameron was Avatar, right? Cameron was Avatar? Yes, Cameron was Avatar. Got pretty good cinematography too, but Ridley Scott I don't know, man. He's got that eye, right? He's got that fucking eye. All right, one of the next movies, I was telling a buddy of mine, he's like, yeah, I want to know your list. I was like, watch the show, motherfucker. And he was like, no, man, he know the list. And I said, I told him the list. And he was like, when I gave him this one, he was like, what? And I went, are you fucking shitting me right now? He was like, man, I don't know about that one. He goes, out of all your movies, I think that. I said, you gotta be, your dick is loose, bro. Your dick is loose. It's gonna fall off. All right. One of the most alpha motherfuckers ever that was ever created. Yes. Bond. James motherfucking Bond. Casino Royale. Or Casino Royale, if you're nasty. The epitome of fucking alpha. Fucking nobody is as badass as fucking 007. Let's check it. Spy. Bingo. Ladies man. Double bingo. Drinks. Bingo, bingo. License to motherfucking kill. Can ride a snowmobile. Can ride a motorcycle. Can fly a fucking helicopter. Can shoot the wings off a fucking flea from 2,000 yards. I mean, can bang any chick, any dude for that matter. Like anything. He can fuck it. Because he's goddamn 007. And like, you want to fuck him because he's 007. He's Bond. He's James Bond. And so with the Casino Royale movie, and like, so this cat right here, my dad was a big 007 fan. So we went to I don't remember any of the Sean Connery movies. I ain't that old, motherfuckers. But I do remember the Roger Moore ones. Moonraker. Moonraker was one of the first movies I can remember seeing at the cinemas. Awesome movie. Love James Bond. Love spy shit, right? So cool. All his gadgets. She's kind of like Batman. He's like Batman without the fucking bat suit. Fucked up still, but major badass. So with the Casino Royale movie, it was basically a reboot of the Bond series. Okay, I brought in Daniel Craig. He's this jacked motherfucker, which is odd because that's the reason he doesn't like playing Bond, is because they always have a shirtless scene and he has to get in major shape. This dude smokes like 2 packs a day. Daniel Craig hates playing Bond, but hey, money makes you do a lot of shit you don't like, but you still fucking do it. All right. So, you got Daniel Craig, he's this jack dude, big jawline, iron jawline. They get him in shape so they can put him in some tighties and have him coming out of the fucking ocean or fucking pool, whatever it is. All right. So in Casino Royale, he just got his 00 license. Okay. So he's licensed to kill now for MI6. So Bond must defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker at the Casino Royale in Montenegro. Are basically a reboot of the Bond films. So you've got he banging chicks, he's drinking, which is a classic quote in this movie when the bartender asked him. Now, granted, this is a reboot, okay? So like Bond first mission as a 00. Okay. And the bartender goes, he orders a martini. And the bartender goes, shaken or stirred? And Bond looks at him and goes, do I look like I give a damn? Like, I don't care, motherfucker. Just give me a martini. I can't taste the difference, which I always thought was funny because you can't taste the difference. So anyway, I know some people argue with me with that, but that's fine. But yeah, Bond, stone cold killer, never loses his cool. And when he does lose his cool, the body count fucking exacerbates. So Bond is, dude, he's the baddest motherfucker. So what I take away from this movie is, and again, my buddy, I don't even know what the fuck, like, I don't know what he watches. You know, he must watch Vampire Diaries all day. I don't know what he watches. But like, so he's being tortured. Okay. And like, Bond ain't breaking, yo. I mean, Bond's not breaking. All right. And so they cut out a hole in this chair. He's naked. They cut out a hole in this chair. Okay. And when you're watching the movie, you're like, whoa, what is this? And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, his balls are hanging. This ain't good. So they take this, like a sock with soap in it, or I don't know if they put pool balls in it. I can't remember, but something you don't want to be hit by your balls. All right. And they're fucking swinging it under the chair and cracking Bond in the nuts over and over and over. And basically Bond says, now the whole world is going to know you died scratching my balls. Something totally uncharacteristic, like from what I know about the Bond films. And I'm like, holy shit, this ain't my dad's Bond, you know? But fucking like, you talk shit to a guy that's pounded your balls over and over with a fucking set of pool balls, dude, you're a bad motherfucker, man. Bond is fantastic. The stunts were great in this movie. The gunplay in the Bond movies is something I always have a fucking issue with. You know, he likes these PPQ Walthers, and, you know, they hold 10 rounds at most, and this motherfucker, he never reloads. I almost did a review of No Time to Die, and I really didn't want to talk shit about Bond, so I didn't do a review of it. I probably still should, but it's not good. I'll just tell you that. It's not good. Don't waste your money at the movie theater. The stunts aren't as spectacular as they make it out to be. The story's stupid. If you haven't seen the other two, Spectre and Casino Royale, you're going to be lost. So I had seen both those movies, but it's been so long. One scene happened, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, what's that? You know, like, you shouldn't be doing that during a movie, okay? They should have did a better job of catching you up than they did, you know. But with COVID and everything else, you know, whatever. Bond, bad motherfucker. Casino Royale, fantastic movie. Like, to me, it is my favorite Bond movie. My favorite Bond movie. It is that good. Fucking love it, love it, love it. Give it a shot. The next movie is on my all-time list as well. Say what you want about the actor. I don't care. It's like their political views. Don't care. I motherfucker, dance, motherfucker. You're here to entertain me. Make me laugh. Make me laugh. You know, like, make me laugh, clown. That's your job. That's what you should do. You're not ever going to influence the way I vote. Okay? So you're not ever going to influence me politically, so I don't care. Now, he has said some other things, which we won't get into. The motherfucker makes great movies. And this is maybe his best. Braveheart. Braveheart, 1995, man. 1995. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy it's been that long. William Wallace leads the Scottish countrymen to freedom against King Edward of England. Basically that's it. It became more of a revenge story when they killed his girl. You know, hey man, freedom's great and all. Like, you know, I'm gonna do this freedom shit to get the countrymen on my side, fight oppression, fight the man. You killed my girl. I'm gonna fucking kill you. This movie to me is in my top 5 of all time. Again, a movie I had no idea what I was going to go see. I was actually dating a girl that lived in Chicago. we went with her mom and dad, not her dad, but like her stepdad or some shit. And I was like, fuck it, I'll go. Fucking like, I wanted to go back in. Like, if I had been back home and by myself, I would have bought a ticket and went and seen the next showing. Yeah, his anti-Semitism is more concerning than his politics. It is. Don't give a shit. He's fucking fantastic actor, great director. The dude makes good movies, good action. I mean, The Patriot. I mean, like, the list goes on. But this one here, like, great, like, the supporting cast of this movie is amazing. His name escapes me. His big redheaded buddy, you know, I mean, like, all the people that follow him along the way. It's just such, you know, King Bruce, or Prince Bruce at the time. I mean, like, that guy, I mean, I've never seen him in another movie, and he was so good. This movie's just, the action scenes are flawless. The gore is right on time. It's not gore for gore's sake either, you know, and that's another thing. Like, I don't like seeing people, like, you know, get dismembered, just like hacksaw. No, let's see, what is it? Bonesaw hack, or hack bonesaw, or something like that. If you know what movie I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about, gore for gore's sake. Like, shit I can't even watch. Like, I've seen real people dismembered, and it didn't bother me because I was doing a job. It ain't something that I choose to see when I don't have to see it. And that movie, like, it was just gore for gore's sake, and it was fucking disgusting. Braveheart, like, if I hit somebody in the face with a 6-pound spiked mace with a 3-foot chain coming down on them, then their head's going to fucking explode. That's what I want to see. I want to see realistic violence. You know, I want to see stylized violence too. Don't get me wrong, but you know, the violence just unbelievable. Like, and back then, to see like a rated R movie that is so good with story and tugging on your heartstrings, and then the end, of course. I mean, you know, freedom. I mean, you know, classic line. But this is my favorite line from him, and this is another thing. Going back and doing some research and thinking about these movies as I watched them, there's a certain theme to a lot of these action movies, and a lot of them is freedom and fighting oppression, and people fighting for freedom that they want or fighting for freedoms that they had, which makes it pretty poignant when the time we're living in now, with a lot of freedoms being taken away with no choice of our own. So I thought this line struck me more than most. So that's the reason I wrote it down. And he's telling one of the councilmen or tribal leaders or whatever of the Scots. And he said, the difference between you and me is you think the people in this country exist to provide you a position. I think your position exists to provide the people freedom. So could very well be translated in today. Like, Congress don't work for us, Republican or Democrat. If you think they do, your dick's loose. They don't. They don't work for you. Okay? You're working for them because A, you're doing everything they tell you to do. So who's working for who? People are losing their jobs and everything else, and people are still listening to these motherfuckers. They don't care about you. They never did. They never will. So I thought, I don't know, a lot of these movies are like that. It's very, very poignant, and we're going to get to some more of them here in a minute. But Braveheart, one of the best fucking movies of all time. What fucking William Wallace is one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time in any movie, any realm. I don't give a shit. The fact that he was a real dude and a real badass warrior makes it even doper to me. So, Braveheart, I would say watch it, but I know you've already seen it. Go watch it again. You need to watch it again. All right. Damn. Shit, I'm going through the list pretty quick. Okay, let's see. All right, here's one. All right, I got this one too. Okay, so I'm a big swords and sandal guy, obviously, right? Gladiator, now Troy. Now you're gonna say, Troy, what the fuck? Yes, Troy. Troy, where are my notes at? Troy is one of the movies that so Nathan Jones, he plays, I know I wrote it down because there it is. Nathan Jones is a friend of mine. He was a wrestler here for OVW. Now he's done movies. He's done a bunch of movies. You've seen Nathan Jones in a bunch of stuff. He's in Troy. He plays Bulgarius, which is the big bald motherfucker that Brad Pitt, who plays Achilles, goes and fights in the beginning of the movie. Like, it's a one-on-one. They did like a champion versus champion kind of thing, and winner takes all. Okay, that way a lot of people don't have to die. Your best versus my best. Let's do this. So there's this kid, Achilles. Where's Achilles at? Where's Achilles at? I don't know. Go get him. So the general tells this kid to go get him. They go back to camp. Achilles is banged fucking 4 bitches, and he's drunk, hungover, whatever. He's missed the battle. And the kid gets him up, and Achilles, he's getting dressed, and the kid goes, you're going to fight the biggest guy I've ever seen. Like, he's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't fight him. And Achilles gets on his horse and looks down and says, that's why no one will remember your name. And fucking drives off and fucking, spoiler alert, from a movie that was done in 2004. Spoiler alert, fucking Achilles fucking spears Nate right to his fucking neck. Then fucking basically mic drop, fucking goes back, bangs some bitches again probably. I don't know. But Troy was such a fucking good movie. Like, you've got brother versus brother portrayal. You've got this respect between Achilles and Hector, which was played by Eric Bana. I mean, there's a lot of bro love in this movie too. And it's fucking fantastic cast through and through. Great performances. But Pitt just, he exuded this fucking confidence. In his Myrmidon, Achilles' Myrmidon were like his own army. Like, Achilles, was like, he wasn't a general or anything. Motherfuckers came to fight for Achilles because he was fucking legend. He was the fucking man. It's like, I don't give a shit if you're Gaul, if you're, what nationality, you're Persian. It didn't make a fucking difference, man. I'm going to go be a Myrmidon. I'm going to go fight for Achilles. It's like being fucking SEAL Team 6, that with no flag. It's like you're just following a man, but the man was larger than life. So fucking love this movie. Again, it's one of those movies I watch every time it's on. It's just, I don't know, it speaks to me. I just think it's, sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong era, and like that era, even though you die from a fucking scratch because it gets infected, you fucking just, your arm gets cut off. I don't know. I just think, the strong survive. You know what I mean? If you got a little bit of brains to you, shit, you can run a fucking country. But Troy, 2004, fucking great movie. If you haven't watched it, check it out. The next movie, wow, you guys are gonna be like, there's a theme going on here. We see a theme. Big time. Fucking 300. There is no Alpha Bro list of movies, of best action movies, where this motherfucker right here isn't on it. 300 by all hail, Zack Snyder. It is an adaptation of a Frank Miller graphic novel, which was actually really, really good graphic novel. When I heard that Zack was going to do this, which I hadn't seen a lot of what Zack had done. I had seen the zombie movie. I think it was the Day of the Dead. I believe it is Day of the Dead, which I loved. Thought it was fantastic. One of my favorite zombie movies. I guess I need to do a zombie top 10 list. That'd be good. But 300, fantastic, ultra bromance movie. I mean, like brotherhood, I talk Josh and I talk a lot about brotherhood on the show, being firefighters. I guess you could consider this a military movie. So I mean, the Spartans, their culture was built on being a warrior, that warrior ethos. If children were somehow deformed or looked like they were weak, they were killed. They were pitched. We gotta have warriors. We're gonna have warriors. This kid cannot grow up to be a fucking warrior. Pitch him. Harsh. Don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating for that nowadays. Not advocating for that. Just so you know, but that's how their culture was developed, and that's the reason 300 Spartans led by King Leonidas. That's the reason that they defeated thousands of Persians. Okay, at the Battle of Thermopylae, and that's what this movie's based on. If you haven't seen it, you're crazy. You should be watching it. But highly stylized again. This movie, you had. It's funny because like now I feel like it's frowned upon, but like all these dudes are like they're in loincloths all the time and they're fucking jacked and ripped. And the guy that played Magneto in the X-Men movies. I keep wanting to say Eric Bana because I just talked about Troy, but it's not Eric Bana. But that dude, I mean, he's fucking never been so shredded in his life. I mean, they're all jacked up. Gerard Butler, of course, can get jacked when he wants to. We've seen him fat too, but I mean, they all dialed it in for this movie. It's fantastic. You get a lot of, again, the brotherhood, the patriotism that like these dudes were going to die. They knew they were going to die. And I mean, one of the fucking classic lines is, eat hearty breakfast, men, for tonight we dine in hell. Like, we're going to fucking die. But guess what? We're going to take a shit ton of these Persians with us. And it's funny that this one battle, even though they lost, spoiler alert, they lose, it ended up leading to it was so motivational for the rest of the world to unite against the Spartans because of this battle at Thermopylae. They ended up defeating the Persians because of this. So it's fucking so good to see Zach take pages, like literally. I mean, Zach is fantastic at this. Anyway, I mean, all his DC movies do the same thing. I mean, like, he takes these shots directly from the graphic novel, from the comic book, and puts it in cinema form, and it's magnificent. Okay, but also what Zach does is he brings out the humanity in people that sometimes comic books and graphic novels can't do. He does that with Gerard Butler and his queen, like these interactions that they have. And even though they've shared very little screen time on screen together, there was a bond there. There was a chemistry there. And, I don't know, this movie does a lot for me. It's a band of brothers and we're all going to die, but guess what? I'm not dying alone, and we're dying for something bigger than ourselves. That's big to me. And 300 really, really epitomized this. Maybe a lot more than some military movies that are high on people's lists. I think 300 did it better, and that's credit to Zach and his direction. So, and also one of my favorite quotes is the Persian says, 1,000 nations of the Persian Empire descend upon you. Our arrows will blot out the sun. And the Spartan looks at him and says, then we will fight in the shade. It's like, motherfucker, you can't scare me. I'm a fucking Spartan. You're a bitch Persian. Yeah, you're going to get us because there's more of you. It ain't because you battered me. And to look at death and just like spit, like, I know it's a movie, guys. I know it's a movie, but like we try to find things in music and literature that motivate us, that drive us, right? Well, movies are like that for me. And I think they're like that for a lot of people. They speak to people in different ways. And 300, man, like, dude, you want to get fucking amped up? Watch fucking 300, man. You want to go fucking forge your own spear and shield wall. You know what I mean? You want to fucking get it on. Stelios was the Spartan that I'm trying to think of that said that. But yeah, highly stylized action. Really capturing that countryman patriotic shit. Love it. All right. Next two, let's do this one because it's fantastic. One of the best movies of all time. One of the most groundbreaking genre movies of all time, The Matrix. Matrix might be in my top list of all-time movies too. Like no matter what genre, it might be in my list just because it does so many things. One of the most influential action movies of all time. Everybody copied, bullet time from The Matrix. Like it's one of those movies that like other directors are like, shit, I'm stealing that. Like I don't even give a fuck. They're sitting around going, man, I'm going to get made fun of for this. I don't give a fuck. It's too fucking good. The Matrix doesn't get to, copyright bullet time. It's too good. And you've seen it for, what this movie was 1999. So you've seen bullet time for fucking 20 years, and it's all because of, I was going to say the Wachowski brothers, but now I guess it's the Wachowski sisters. That's a whole show in itself. But nevertheless, they knocked it out of the park with the Matrix movie. Again, invented bullet time. They combined sci-fi, martial arts, Japanese anime, Greek mythology, cyberpunk, biblical themes, Alice in Wonderland, kung fu, gun fu, all in one movie and made it work. That ain't supposed to happen. Like that's the fucking stars were in alignment. The planets were maybe rearranged for this to happen. I don't know, but there's no way all of that should have worked in a movie, and it's amazing. And I'm actually rewatching. I'm in Revolutions now. Finished Reloaded, finished The Matrix, and now with Matrix Resurrection coming up, then I got to get my Matrix on. You know what I mean? And so like again. The guns, I love movies that highlight guns, and they really didn't highlight the reload like I wanted. We're going to get into that, but they were very, very close with it. And, it was just guns, and the slow motion as, shells are ejecting out of the chamber. I mean, explosive environments, destructive environments, the lobby scene in The Matrix where they go to break Morpheus out where he's being held by the agents. I mean, that scene's groundbreaking. It's one of the greatest scenes in cinema of all time, action scenes of all time. If that doesn't get your fucking testosterone pumped up, nothing will. Now, I know some people have a lot of issues with The Matrix as far as, none of them are valid to me. Like you're stupid. Oh, really? You can't do that? They were in The Matrix, jackass. Like, give it a rest, dude. Like, I do agree that in certain movies, there still is a set of rules. I don't give a shit if Superman can fly. Water is still wet and fire still burn you. You know what I mean? Like burn me, not him. But I'm saying just because there is a Superman, there are still rules of physics that apply. So when you're in The Matrix, you don't have that. So again, one of the greatest movies ever fucking made. Now you can make an argument that the next two weren't up to snuff. I feel like that's a very unfair comparison in what they did in The Matrix. I still love Reloaded. I almost think Reloaded has some of the better action scenes in it. If I'm going action scene for action scene, I think Reloaded's got Matrix beat. I know, right? Love to debate it, but Matrix, fantastic movie. Again, quotes. There is no spoon. The little fucking kid. Like, what's really going to bake your noodle is, would you do it if I told you not to? You know what I mean? Like the Oracle shit. But here's the one that I thought was very Bill and Ted-ish of Keanu, and it might have been a throwback to that. I haven't seen this written anywhere, but it probably was. When Morpheus they're in the training simulation program, and he jumps from building to building, and Neo sees him jump, and he goes, "Whoa." Very Bill and Ted-ish, right? So that's the one that I always remember. But fantastic movie is the fucking Matrix. Now, another alpha fucking favorite of mine is, of course, going back to Keanu, is fucking John Wick. John motherfucking Wick. The fucking Baba Yaga himself. I mean, 2014. It's hard to believe that the first one was 2014, man. Doesn't seem like it seemed like it was that long. Amazing. They created this world of assassins and spies. John is whereas 007 epitomizes the alpha persona as a, like, he's more flamboyant, he's more cocky, he's more in your face. John is the exact opposite. John is a man of very fucking few words, but he is driven, he's intelligent, he's a man of fucking action. He only speaks when he needs to, but when he says something, it's usually pretty fucking profound. And not realizing, like, the quotes in this movie and like how many there are. Oh my God, there's so many of John saying certain shit, and it's like, oh my God, that's classic, you know? So here's the thing about the Wick movies for me. I've been saying for fucking years, if I would have went into filmmaking, this is one of the movies that I would have done. It wouldn't have been as good as John Wick because I'm not that creative. I'm not that talented. But what has always bothered me in movies is no one ever fucking reloads. No one ever fucking reloads. In No Time to Die, there is a scene that literally almost made me walk out of the theater, and I'm going, oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay? I won't tell you the scene because I don't want to spoil anything. But there was basically a guy that had the Magic magazine that was always full of fucking rounds. And it's like, oh my God, like come on, man. It's getting ridiculous. There was a conversation going on. This guy's still blasting from the same magazine. And the cool thing is like, I knew how cool reloads can be. When you see somebody get a 1.5 second reload or a 0.5 second reload, and keep firing, it's like, oh shit. You see that shit live, man, you're like, damn, that looked like magic. Okay? How cool would it be in a movie? Ultra cool. And I've been saying it for fucking years. And I don't know why and actually David Leitch wasn't even the director. I know he gets credit for John Wick. I know he was on 2, and I think they do list him uncredited as a director now, but he wasn't the first director listed, which I thought was weird. But, you know, I think he was the creator. I think he probably had something to do with it. But anyway, like, I don't know. I'd love to know where he thought about the idea at, because that's the reason I love the Wick movies. A, they highlight guns. Benelli M4, the HKs he uses, he uses Daniel Defense ARs. I mean, like, they highlight the Kimber, the Kimber, the 911, the 1911. I mean, they highlight weapons, and I love that. Okay, I love it. I think it's fucking cool. They highlight the fucking reloads and how cool. It's like set Wick apart, right? In action. Like, he's boom, 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 reload, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's dope. It's like, oh shit. And it's realistic. Okay, that's realistic. Okay, now some of the gun fu shit, maybe not. John is a way better. His accuracy is 1,000 times better than anybody else that's shooting at him, which he's the fucking star. So therefore, that's how it should be. Uh, but just it's fantastic. The gun choreography. I mean, and I say John, Keanu did the work, man. Like he worked with Terran Tactical. He worked with a girl named Jade Struck, who's a competitional shooter. And I'm sure you've seen the videos. If you're a Wick fan, you've seen the videos of him at the Terran Tactical range course where he's just three gunning the shit out of it. Very, very, very impressive. Which I'm sure he got a lot of that stuff from the Matrix, and he just expanded upon his, his muscle memory going into the Wick movies. But another thing Wick does is, and Jason points this out, is it feels like a fully fleshed out universe. Exactly. Like you've got this Continental, you've got this coin currency. People know, like, the cop that shows up at John's apartment when he just killed like a whole strike team that came after him. And he's like, sees a dead body laying in the hallway. He's like, you working again, John? Nah, man, just working some things out. All right, have a good night. Like he knows, so like, how do these people know? I don't know. It's this universe that you want to know more about. The high table. Who's the high table? How did Winston become, how did he become the concierge of the Continental? How did he become the owner of the Continental? Like, I want to know all this shit. There was a comic book series by Boom, I believe it was. It's terrible. It was actually Keanu before he became like, the assassin. Before he became the boogeyman, basically. And I thought it was really going to answer some of these questions. It really didn't. It did basically tell you how he met Carlton, who is, I guess he's the concierge of the Continental, and Winston is the owner. So, but it does show you how their relationship evolved, which I thought was all right. But give me all that, man. Give me all that. Give me all. Now, John Wick 2, I thought was amazing as well. Probably not as good as 1. Parabellum, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Loved it. Still felt like it was the lesser of the 3 movies. I don't know. I felt like it was just missing something. Don't know what it was. The action, of course, is top notch and fantastic. And I love how, John's using different styles of shotguns. He uses lever action, he uses a pump, he uses mag fed shotguns. I mean, like I love how he did it. He uses knives. I mean, the scene in 2 where he's putting the gun together for to shoot one round. Like I love that. And gun guys, they love that shit. That's what makes the Wick movies fucking alpha. And again, John's personality is fucking alpha as fuck. And let's not forget, he's a fucking dog lover, man. Like I say this all the time. If you fuck with my animal, I'm going John Wick on you. And that is no fucking joke. No joke at all. Wick hits a chord in a lot of us. And I think that's what makes it such a successful franchise. And the fact that they've created this world of assassins. So very, very, very cool. The next movie. This is it, man. This is number 1. Number motherfucking 1. Now, some of you, again, I'm open to all criticisms at all. I'm trying to get these images off because I have a little slideshow. The next movie is my number 1. Number 1 movie of all time. Number 1 alpha movie of all time. This movie exudes testosterone, and that is fucking Predator. Predator, to me, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Fucking classic scenes. It had a horror element to it. It had an action element to it. It had a team element to it. It had Arnold, which I'm a fucking huge fan of Arnold. It had classic lines. It had very cool supporting cast. It had a dope ass villain, which basically ended up becoming more popular than the hero, which I don't know. If they said they were doing another Predator movie and bringing back Dutch, people would shit their pants. And this scene here, This movie is 19 motherfucking 87. 1987. Okay. Yours truly is like a freshman in high school, I think, so haven't lifted weights or anything like that. Seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger in a polo shirt, like, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to look like in a polo shirt. Like, that's what I want to look like in a polo shirt. And I didn't know why, didn't know how to do it, didn't know any of it. But I'm like, that's what I want people to see if I wear a fucking polo shirt. I don't have to wear a tank top or a tight t-shirt. I want to wear a polo shirt that I look like that. Fucking biceps fucking bulging out, goddamn veins screaming out of my fucking arms. That's what I want to fucking look like. And that handshake with him and Dylan, just, I wish I could have had a picture of myself as a kid watching this movie in the theater and just fucking my jaw dropping. And then you've got fucking Jesse Ventura, Blaine, and he's on the helicopter, and, he's chewing tobacco and I ain't got time to fucking bleed, he's just, toxic masculinity at its fucking finest, dude. Blaine. There he is fucking rattling off with the old painless. This movie, so I'm recapping all of them, so I'm just going to recap this one. Special forces go on a mission in the jungle, find out they're being hunted by extraterrestrial. The end. No, so it's one of those movies that it hits something primal in you. Again, it's got that horror aspect, like the bad guys hunting them, they're badass fucking special forces dudes. They're commandos. They've seen a lot of shit. They can handle a lot of shit. Well, not this. They ain't seen nothing like this. So there's a oh shit moment. You see these guys that are hard as nails fucking freaking out. Again, great supporting cast. Great characters around him. Again, with Blaine. All of his commando group, they all were cool as shit. They all had like great little one-liners. I can't remember the big Native American's name. Billy was his name. He's like this tracker, and then like he goes all Native American on him by taking off his fucking vest and taking his sword down his chest. This movie is nothing but fucking masculine shit, man. Like, it's the God's nectar of manliness. Nothing more manly in this fucking movie. Nothing more fucking alpha than this fucking movie. I could watch this movie a fucking million times. I've watched this movie a fucking million times. Again, I watch it every time it comes on. I have action figures of Dutch. I have Mud Dutch, which, there's a picture of him. He's all covered in the mud, like, plot twist, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, the infrared can't see him. Oh, you're fucked, Predator. And it's like, oh shit, he ain't, my heart breaks a little bit that we didn't get a Predator 2 with Schwarzenegger and the Dutch character, because he lived. He was the only one on the fucking island it did. Will do anything. Out of all the reboots in fucking Hollywood that have went on, why haven't we got a Dutch Returns Predator flick? Like, Predators Alien 6, come on, man. Like, we don't... Adrian Brody is a Predator movie? Come on, man. Get fucking Arnold back. He don't have to take his shirt off. Just fucking have Dutch. He's older now. He's probably still fucked up from his time on the island. Let's just fucking bring him back in. He's the only one that can stop the fucking Predators. Dude, just have it. Balls to the wall, man shit. Like, I would fucking lose my mind. I can't believe it hasn't been done yet. That's crazy. But fucking just give me Dutch, cigar smoking, fucking gunslinging, bicep flexing, alien killing, fucking son of a gun. Fucking Dutch. Love it, motherfucker, man. Love this movie. It, to me, is like all movies, all action movies should strive for this type of toxic masculinity. I mean, it's just so good. It's got to be toxic, right? But no, but that's my top 10, guys. That's my top 10. Loved it. Loved it. Love doing the research for this. Some movies didn't make the list. An honorable mention that I want to give a shout out to that I thought was really good is a movie called Equilibrium. It's Christian Bale and Sean Bean. If you're not familiar, check it out. It's actually probably the first movie that introduced gun fu to at least American cinemas. Now there may have been some Asian counterpart to Equilibrium that I don't know about, but to my knowledge, like Equilibrium was kind of like, I mean, it was like they're teaching you a style of fighting with guns up close. Really cool shit, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but it was one of the movies that I first thought of. It's a very good movie. Into the future, things, people have been repressed, oppressed, and they're fighting against the establishment, and the good guys are a part of that establishment that end up seeing the light. But good movie, Equilibrium with Christian Bale. That was one of the movies that didn't make my list. There were several, right? There's a fucking bunch of good action movies. And doing this list, I was looking at other people's lists, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That ain't gonna make my nope. That's not making my list either. And I'm like, oh, that's a fucking good one. I didn't think of that one, But like, Hard Boiled and Boss Level, some of those. Maybe not on many people's lists, but you should check them out and let me know if you think I'm wrong on Boss Level and Hard Boiled. So next show will be the top 10 alpha TV shows of all time. This is going to be tough. Off the top of my, as soon as I thought about doing this as a show, I immediately wrote down 12. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I mean, bang, 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 bang. Done. And then I went, fuck, I got 12. And I ended up adding 2 more as the days went on. So added another one tonight. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. So there's going to be a top 10 with some honorable mentions. Make that easy, right? But no, it's, I think that what I want to do is give you guys some movies that you may not have heard of, and maybe some movies that maybe you've seen a long time ago, but you haven't seen since, and you're going to give it another shot, see if it holds up. But the TV series show should be good because like some of these, I bet you've never seen. And they're fucking fantastic. Like they're so good. If you like action, and I do like a little bit of story with my action, okay? But sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes I just want to see mindless violence. Let's be honest. I just want to see fucking people get fucked up. I want it to be cool violence. I want it to be good violence, but I want to see people get fucked up. Very well done. But I do like a good story. I think a good story can really drive violence, and vice versa. Violence drive good story. So I think they work together really, really well in action series. So yeah, next week, Wednesday, 7:00, be doing the top 10 alpha TV shows of all time. So you're going to want to check that out. Guys, if you have not subscribed, please do that. Please subscribe on YouTube. Please subscribe on Twitch. Hit the notification button. You'll know every time I go live. If you have not left a 5-star review on Anchor or iTunes, please do that. Justified is on my list. Now, the question is, I'm at 14, 15 TV shows now. Will it make my top 10? I don't know. Love Justified, man. Love Raylan. And Raylan is a real marshal here in Kentucky. So I kind of feel obligated to. And I know some marshals that actually worked with Timothy Oliphant, and they all raved of what a cool cat he was. still gives them Christmas cards, which I'm sure it's his agent doing it, but it doesn't make any difference. Like, they all, like, he wanted to meet the two marshals that produced on that show. He wanted to meet their wives, their family, took them out to dinner. Like, and I know one of the marshals really well. The other one I've only met a couple times, but they both were like just awesome. Like, they're like, dude, he's the best. So yeah, so love me some Timothy Oliphant. Tune in next week to see if Deadwood and Justified made the TV list. It's going to be tough. I am not lying. I'm not lying at all. This is going to be some of the hardest shit that I've had to tweak out, which is fun. It's all good. Hey guys, again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being in the chat. Please, if you think you know somebody that would like this content, give them a share, give them a shout, let them know that I'm doing this every Wednesday night and they should join in and join the live chat. With that, guys, have a great rest of your week. Have a very safe rest of your week. And remember, guys, always strive to be alpha. See you guys later. Peace.